Hey,
Yeah, this is Hangout is live on the air. All right, let's get going. Thanks for joining us tonight for episode number 3 of 80s Film Flashback, where it is our mission to collect the news and reviews in a world of geek culture for you to enjoy. I'm Simon.
and I'm Goody.
And I'm Danielle.
That's right. That's Danielle.
That's her.
That is her, the one and only, the wife behind the screen. It's usually behind the screen.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah.
You married up.
Thank you.
Just letting you know.
Thanks.
That's very nice of you.
That was very kind.
Because so did I.
You know, you don't have to say that. She's just not watching.
She can just hear me, though. She hears all.
There you go. There you go. All right. For those of you who have been waiting, tonight we are going to do a quick little review of the 80s film Can't Buy Me Love. And before we get started, let's have a look at what the trailer actually looked like. There we go. Let's share this. All right. So I know you can't hear it, but basically, I think the interesting thing about this film is that it was released 30 years ago today. The synopsis is: a nerdy outcast secretly pays for the most popular girl in school $1,000 to be his girlfriend. Kind of like some of the other movies we've seen a couple of times, but this, again, it was 30 years ago that it came out. It was rated PG-13. It was directed by Steve Rash, and it was a screenplay done by Michael Swerdlick. That's what we're all saying that it is. Budget, we don't actually know what it was, but the box office, it made $31 million. It stars Patrick Dempsey. Oh, you got my notes up. That's a bummer. There we go. It stars Patrick Dempsey, everybody knows as McDreamy. It's interesting that this was the trailer. You know, I mean, it gives us a little bit more, but I mean, it doesn't show a whole lot of stuff in the trailer. It's just kind of the beginning of the movie, actually, which is kind of sad. So,
well, if you recall, too, there were a lot of those 80s flicks that kind of did that. You know, the new production into actually doing great trailers didn't really come into effect until early 90s.
I would say so. So, we watched this together last night. We do our homework the day before. When did you watch it?
I watched it today, actually.
Did you? So you weren't actually working, you were sitting and watching a film. I like that.
No, actually, I got home and watched
it. All right. So when was the last time you watched it?
Actually, it was probably good 5-6 years ago.
Okay. Dee, what about you?
Oh, wow. It's longer than that. I would say probably I haven't seen it in the last 10 years, 10, 15 years.
I probably haven't seen it since the 90s. Okay. I was pleasantly surprised. I know some people out there were not surprised of how good it was. Hannah. Again, there's a poll on Twitter.
The text message she sent, didn't she say she loved it? She just raved about it, right?
Raved about it, yes. She absolutely loved it. She goes, I can't believe how good your movie selections are. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Were you?
I just forgot how much humor was in it and how funny it was.
Yes, I did too. I think probably one of the best characters in there too was Seth Green as the younger brother. His one-liners, the fact that he kept getting farted on.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 times, right?
Yeah, in the car, at the party. You know, just some of the phrases that he used to pick on Dempsey's character, you know, and his friends, you know, playing cards with the tards. You know, some of that stuff, man, just had me rolling. It was only what, an hour and a half long, which typically most 80s films are. What is it that I'm going to ask you first, Dee? What is it that stood out most to you? I know you said humor, but was there anything else?
Gosh, it stood out to me. No, I think the humor was probably the best part. I mean, I knew the line of the synopsis of the story, and I'd seen it many times before, but just forgot the funny parts, like the African anteater ritual and the dance, and the clothes that he wears. I mean, all the things that he, even after he's cool, just the selection of clothes were just hilarious. The patterns that were so bold and put together so classically.
Yet everybody, oh man, you well sharp dress, man, and we're like, what? What about you, Chad? What stood out for you?
Well, it was funny because I was going to say the African dance in the gymnasium for prom or whatever that was, but there were a lot of things. A lot of things I did not recall. One of which being how many times the little brother got farted on. But the younger brother playing the role that he did, which Seth Green, was kind of the same role that if you Better Off Dead with John Cusack. Mm-hmm. How his younger brother was also far more intelligent, was more cooler than he was. So we saw this a couple times, throughout the 80s, where the younger brother, sister, whatever, was always smarter, kind of like in the Lost Boys.
Yes,
the middle child was, smarter, whatever. But there were a lot of things that really stood out for me for this film. One of which, like I said, the African dance, when the nerds actually stood and went, hey, they all saw it and they recognized it.
Yeah.
And then, the tough guys kind of came in, kind of looked at them and went, ooh, okay, sit back now.
Yeah. No, it was pretty good. I think, this film has been remade in a way so many times. There is the, we discussed it last night when we were watching
Pretty in Pink, Some Kind of Wonderful.
What's the other, oh my gosh, Paul Walker was in it.
She's All That.
She's All That. It kind of reminded me of that as well, almost like another version of it.
Oh yeah.
There's so many movies that they talk about, somebody being who they are and then wanting to be someone different, and then ultimately learning that that's not the best thing. It's always best for us to be who we are and be authentic, which I think a lot of people can take away that message, and just understand that who they are is who they are. And it's great to be that person, and I like how this played into that. He thought he wanted to be someone different. He wanted to be in the in scene. But when you come to find out, it's not always greener on the other side. And I kind of like that because it also taught Amanda Peterson's character a lesson that, it's hard work to get there. And you know what? It's not that great. And then you see her role reversal as well, which I thought was kind of cool in the movie itself.
Well, and even timeless themes, like different groups and social groups at school. I mean, those things 30 years later really haven't changed all that much. And so some things are, even though it was that long ago, are still relevant today.
Yeah, and that's a good point, actually, because think of what is the Tina Fey written film where she comes from Africa and she zones all
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls in a way, you kind of pull that out of there too, because you had the jocks that were the mean guys, and you had the rockers, and you had and he called his group a certain phrase, and I can't remember what it was. It wasn't like the geeks, it wasn't the nerds, it was something else. I can't remember what it was, and I don't but yeah, there's almost always a social class. I mean, and it's been throughout history, but in this film too, it's like, yeah, that's they're trying to depict high school life, and that's what it is. So true. I thought it was pretty good. Chad, anything else stand out to you? 'Cause one other thing that stood out to me is I could not watch this film and not think that Big John, the blonde football player who kept relieving himself, just reminded me of like a young Patrick Warburton.
Yeah.
The way he talked, his mannerisms, I would have, if that was him, that would have been awesome. But
we've seen him, I think, I can't remember the last thing we saw him in, but I would want to say Starship Troopers.
I Yeah, because he hasn't done much, I don't think, since. But yeah, he kind of fits that role, you know, the dumb jock kind of thing. So, um, but yeah, he was. I think he was also like one of my favorite characters in here, just because of I don't know. I couldn't get Patrick Warburton out of my mind. So, all right. So, did you have anything else that kind of stood out? Anything you wanted to add?
I didn't actually.
Okay. I think we all agree that we all liked it, right?
Oh yes.
Okay. Sorry, Hannah. But here's the thing: if you like it or don't like it, we do have a Twitter poll up right now. Go ahead, jump on there. Let us know if you liked it or didn't like it, and then it's running for 7 days, and then we'll figure out if Hannah's wrong. So,
which was
last time. She was wrong last time. Yes, I'm sorry, but Big Trouble in Little China, majority of the people liked it. So, so here's the next thing we like to do is we like to recast the film. So I'm going to start with Chad. I'm going to go with Chad first. So Chad, if you were to recast this today, who would you pick?
Okay, so I got two different guys.
Okay.
Two options here. One of which being David Mazouz from Gotham, who plays Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that would be good. And he kind of looks like Patrick Dempsey, actually.
Right. And my other one is Tom Holland.
Oh. Okay,
because
I like those choices.
He can be kind of scatterbrained, kind of how McDreamy was a little bit, and being very overexcited. Kind of how he played Peter Parker a little bit.
Yeah, no, actually, that's pretty good. See, I goofed and I never did think of recasting this film, but as we were talking earlier, you brought up a point of not necessarily doing it younger actors. So if you were going to recast it.
So for Amanda Peterson's character, I said Robin Wright, which is not Penn anymore, but Robin Wright. I was so kindly corrected on that. And then I don't know for the guy. I don't know who I would recast in that role.
Okay. It's kind of a tough one because, I mean, part of me would like to see some new people, some new faces pop up and maybe have, maybe like dad roles and mom roles filled by more well-known actors as well, or the teachers or the principal.
Well, McDreamy could play the dad of whoever the new man is.
Yeah, you could do it that way, or he does a cameo and he's actually the science teacher.
Yeah.
Or he's the guy who sells the 5-inch erect telescope. Did you catch that? We had to rewind. Go. Did he say what I think he said?
Yeah,
he did. He go and the joke that continued to go with it. Like do a cameo like that, or have Seth Green sell it, and then I don't know. You could have some fun with that. So,
well, I actually have 3 women I picked out too.
Let's hear it. Who's your women?
Girls, but since I brought up David from Gotham, I thought of Cameron. How do you say her last name?
Are you talking Catwoman?
Picandova.
Yeah.
Not Batgirl, but Catwoman.
Yes. Yeah, I like her.
And then I thought of Ariel Winter from Modern Family.
Okay.
Because she hasn't really played a role that's been she did play one role that was kind of bad, but I haven't seen it yet. She's the nerdy girl from the Bigger Family, Modern Family, glasses, dark hair.
Okay.
And then the other one I thought of was Maisie Williams, the girl who plays Arya Stark.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Yeah. Interesting.
Be something a little different.
I like your first choice, but yeah, that would be different. I don't know. And then for those of you who are watching, you got some ideas, throw them in the comments. Let us know who you think you would recast in the film. It's kind of fun to do that. I mean, this is something that we've done forever. Let's jump into some trivia. All right. So here's some things that I found. Actress Amanda Peterson was only 15 during the filming, and actor Patrick Dempsey was 21.
Which explains her driving in the movie. Did you notice how horrible it was?
Yes.
Every time she
Yes.
stopped the car,
I always wondered because we got to the point where then he would drive, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah. The original title of the movie was called Boy Rents Girl, which screams 80s film.
Yeah.
In 2003, Can't Buy Me Love was remade as Love Don't Cost a Thing, starring Nick Cannon and Christina. How would you say that? Milian, something like. Okay. The director, Steve Rash, his debut was the Buddy Holly story. And if you notice, the Buddy Holly story is playing in the it's on the marquee, so it was playing at the theater. And I didn't see this, but Paula Abdul is actually one of the dancers.
Well, she is also credited at the opening of the film too.
Is she?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I caught that. I went, what?
That's got to be a re-edit then. They must have added in that afterwards because I think she made an unedited or uncredited. So I thought that's kind of funny.
I thought she was. It said she was a choreographer of the dance or something.
Oh, okay. So then, okay, gotcha. All right, good catch. I like that. Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right. You got it. You got it. Anything else you want to add about the film? You know?
No, I do not.
D, anything else you want to add about it?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. So I enjoyed it. We both did. We were laughing quite often, actually. So I hope everybody else liked it. If you have any comments,
a different kind of humor than what some would be used to.
I would agree with that. I would agree. And I think most 80s comedies are like that.
Yeah.
There's just something about them that it just fits that time period. Most 80s films will not transcend time. It won't go from this era to that era. It's like it's stuck in its own world. And I think
it's a different kind of slapstick, whereas the 90s changed, and then starting late 90s, everything was kind of, I wouldn't say the same, but it just kind of evolves. It slowly evolves.
Yeah, I think so. And that's a good point. So, and part of the reason we like to do this too was, it all started off with Hannah and Johnny making some comments about some films, and then it's like, okay, we're going to have some fun with this. So, I'm glad they're kind of going along the ride with us. So why don't we talk about where
I think the determining factor was the comment by Johnny, which was, "What's a Blade Runner?"
What's a Blade Runner, which will be coming up in September before the release of 2049. We will be doing that film. So why don't we talk about where everybody can find us? D, where can everybody find you?
At Djohnson at constantcollectible.com.
Okay. And of course, the website. You have some posts that you're working on called Mom's Perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. You have another one coming up soon?
I'm working on it.
All right. Cool. Chad, where can everybody find you?
Busy girl. Right on. You can find me on Instagram at DJ Kilt, Facebook under Chad Goodwin, of course, Twitter right below here at Chad Griffin 12. You can find me on the website at constantcollectible.com, and you can email me at goodygoodwin at constantcollectible.com.
Right on. And I'm Simon. You can find me at Twitter. It's C_collectible. Over at Instagram, C_collectible. Majority of the social media sites, and of course, constantcollectible.com. Our email is constantcollectible.com or constantcollectible@gmail.com. We are live every other Monday night, 8 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Mountain, and our website, of course, is constantcollectible.com. We'll be back on August 28th with our next film, another Kurt Russell film, Escape from New York. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to all things Constant Collectible to keep you up to date with all the news and reviews from a world of geek culture. Thanks for joining us.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, everybody.